Francesca and this is Law of Attraction. It changed my life. Yes, it is another iPhone shit. I haven't got time to make a proper video, but it's what's on the inside that counts, not the outside. Are you waving? She's learnt to wave, but it's a very camp wave. It's more wrist action than hand action, isn't it? Hi. So anyway, yeah, it's more about what's on the inside, not what's on the outside, right? So it may not be all like, ooh, shallow depth of field and nice background, but fuck it, what I've got to say is gonna blow your mad. Hi. So I was listening to a podcast by The Minimalists the other day. They had a documentary recently on Netflix and it was amazing. I definitely recommend it. And they were talking about priorities. And I've realised that the number one thing that is keeping us from our goals is our priorities. What do we prioritise in life? Have you seen those mugs and t-shirts that say like you have the same hours in the day as Beyonce? And it's like, yeah, it's so true. Like everyone has the same amount of time. And one of my most hated phrases is, I'm so busy, like I don't have time. You hear all sorts of people say it and you think, you're not the fucking mayor, you're just you. And you're not too busy, you just haven't prioritised whatever it is that we're talking about. And so anyway, back to this podcast, but he was saying, show me your day, or like show me your calendar and I'll show you your priorities. And I thought, whoa, like that is so freaking true. Like, what are you spending your day doing? Look at your calendar, look at your diary, look what you are spending the hours of the day doing, and what you're spending the majority of your day doing and how you're dividing your day up. Those are your priorities, whether you like it or not. So I listened to this about a week ago, and since then I've really kind of taken it on board, and I made one of my New Year's resolutions to be paid for photography. I want to be paid for a photo by the end of the year. I want to be a professional photographer. And do you know what? I had to cut out some other things. I had to look at what I was prioritising. I was prioritising fucking social media, like just procrastinating on my phone. I was prioritising cleaning the house. Like, yes, those things are important, but I realised that I needed to change the direction of where I was focusing my attention if I really, really wanted to achieve something. So I've had my camera probably like 3 years now, and I went to St Martin's College to study photography like 2 years ago. So we're talking like a long time goal now. And I've never got round to putting Photoshop on my computer because it scared the fucking life out of me. I hate anything technological. I've never got round to like actually doing anything with my photography. And this kind of started when I did that digital detox a couple of weeks ago. Has anyone else done that? Comment down below and let me know, because honestly, I feel like this has been the catalyst for the change that I needed. I feel like I'm really rambling, but sometimes things aren't all edited and shit. Like sometimes they're just real. And you know what? Since changing my priorities, I found this worksheet on Pinterest that I will put on my Instagram and on my Facebook page. If you haven't followed already, we're just at Law of Attraction Changed My Life. But if you go over there, you can see the formula. And actually, my next video, I might do that. I might do the formula of how you work out what you're doing in your day, what you're not, what you want to do, all that jazz. And since I've been prioritising my photography, it's probably been 2 or 3 weeks now, I've set up a Facebook page and an Instagram for it. I've done about 5 different photo shoots for people now, like pregnant people, children, babies. I'm going to do a guy doing like amazing yoga poses all around Shoreditch on Friday. And I got paid for my first piece of photography the other day for doing 2 little children. And I have Photoshop on my computer. I finally went for it, got it on my computer. My lovely husband has taught me how to use it a little bit. I'm going to get a teacher to come in and teach me the rest. And that has all happened because I've prioritised it. I don't have any more or less time in my day than I have for the last 2 years. In fact, I'd say I probably have less time in my day. Like, you have to ask me, like, why the fuck am I wearing a bikini at 8 in the morning? It's because I have to go to a 9:30 a.m. swimming lesson. That's just how I roll these days. Like, this kid takes up a lot of time. I love her. I love her. I love her. I love her. But I don't have any more time than I used to, yet I find myself starting a photography business and really applying myself. Do you know what? I'm so proud of myself. Let me just insert a couple of my pictures just here. Yeah, I feel like the more I'm shooting almost every day, so I'm improving really rapidly, because it's not like I'm picking up my camera, using it and then putting it away for a couple of weeks and then forgetting like what I learned. It's because I'm using it consistently. I feel like I'm getting better and better. Anyway, that's it really. The other thing I was going to say, the other place this cropped up in my life, where I was like, oh, this really resonates with me, is when I was pregnant, or maybe she was born, I don't remember. I read a book called Attachment Parenting. You want your thumb down? And it said in there that a lot of people feel like they have to go back to work when the baby's really young and leave it to like nursery or something. And a lot of people really struggle with that, and they're like, I don't want to do it. And I've certainly heard a lot of my friends say, oh, but I don't want to leave her, I don't want to go back to work, like I'm so upset. And they're basically saying you don't really have to. You don't have to go back to work full time. You can prioritise your life to put your child first and make sure that you don't have to do that. And I know that this will probably ruffle a lot of feathers, and actually when I mentioned this on a night out, my friends it certainly did. But it was saying like, you see so many people have a new baby and then they're like, I have to go back to work full time, I have no choice. And then they buy a bigger house, or they buy a new car, or they go on like 3 holidays, and it's like, well, that's where your priorities lie. Show me your calendar and I will show you your priorities. Oh, I'm going to be such an annoying mum when you're older, aren't I? So annoying. But you have got the best wave in town. You say, hi. You've almost got it. You just practice. And so, yeah, this whole concept really interests me, and I think it's not about finding more hours in the day or being more motivated. It is about prioritising. Now, of course, when you do prioritise one thing, other things do slip. And this week, as you can see, I have not sat down and made a film and made it all nice. I'm just filming this on my iPhone. But do you know what? This is a priority for me because it's 9 in the morning or 8 in the morning. I don't even know what fucking time it is. We're about to go to swimming. I've got shitloads to do today. I'm about to go to London for 5 days. I've got a fucking bikini on. But it was my priority to film this because it's really important to me and to keep this channel going because I fucking love it. I love it. I basically have a lot to say, and a lot of people don't want to hear it when you know them. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've tried having this conversation about priorities with people I know, and they take it really offensively. Whereas I listen to podcasts, and I'm sure people like you, we're more into this kind of vibe, and I feel like people are like, yeah, you're totally fucking right, and yes, give me great advice. Mama's not making any sense now because it's very early. Anyway, we're going to be late for swimming. We gotta go swimming because, of course, a 7-month-old baby has to know how to swim and go underwater, doesn't she? Anyway, I will see you next week. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. I swear it's not normally this shoddy. And what are the other things? Instagram, Facebook, you'll know where I'm at. It's at Law of Attraction, changed my life. I'll see you next week. Thanks, bye. Right, this is the actual time to wave. Say bye. Oh, she's waving but down low. You have to do it up high. Bye. Yay! Good girl. Bless you. Sorry, I don't know if I was being 100% clear. I really needed to go to the toilet, so I had to literally run before I wet myself. And now I've come back with a clear mind. What I'm trying to say is that if you have a goal, your goal for the next week should be to not say, oh my God, I haven't had time. Oh, I'm so sorry, I've been so busy. If you haven't done something, be honest with yourself, own it and say, I'm really sorry, I didn't prioritise it. Both to yourself and to other people. It's not I'm too busy, I didn't prioritise it. So guys, I'm really sorry that this video is so shoddy and I have a screamy baby because I didn't prioritise it. I did not make time before right now, the very last minute that I could have done it before I leave for London, to do it. And so I'm sorry, I didn't prioritise it. I did have time, I did not prioritise. As soon as you start to have that mindset, I think it gives you a lot of power back. And you realise that no, you can't do everything. And what I was saying earlier about attachment parenting, oh dear, attachment parenting and people choosing to, 1 second. Oh, people choosing to prioritise other things over looking after their children, that's not me being judgy McJudgerson. I think that, yes, Beyonce has an amazing career, but all of those hours that she's spent working on that. She has been taken away from her child. She's been taken away from other things. And that's absolutely fine. It's just that's her priority. Her priority was her career at that moment in time. There's other people that have children and decide, this is my priority, this is all I want to do. God knows why.